Good evening and welcome to a very sunny, very hot day here on the south coast. We are very happy to bring you a National Basketball League Division 2 fixture between the Solent Kestrels and the Manchester Magic here at the Solent Sports Complex, home of the Kestrels. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you entertainment that matches the weather, as we've had a beautiful day down here. This stream is brought to you, as always, by Sonar Events, who have covered every Solent Kestrels home game this season, both men's and women's. Of course, we are now heading towards the end of the season, so whilst the games might dry up this season, make sure to check in next September when we will continue our coverage of every single Solent Kestrels home match. Today, the Kestrels and the Magic face up in the Division 2 men's playoffs in the National Basketball League. The Kestrels, the number 2 seed from the south, and the Magic, the number 3 seed from the north. So we now turn our attention to the home side, and here are the players who will take the call for them. 4, Russell Garipi. 5, Sean Mulhern. 6, Sean Mbura. 7, Elliot Dads. 8, Asset Aziz. 9, Issa Brandon. 10, Joe Lloyd. 11, Matt Hughes. 12, Ilias Tyro. 13, Danforth Malloy. 14, Will Taylor. And 15, Ash Briggs. And of course their coach is Matt Guyman, the ever-present figure on the sideline. And the visitors today, the Magic, travelling all the way from Manchester. They've brought Ellie wearing number 3, Gordon wearing 7, Gale wearing 9, May with 10, Regent in 11, Davies wearing 13, Pierce wearing 14 and Goodall wearing 15. Their coach, Pete Scaver. A lot less names on the team sheet for Manchester. Unfortunately not being able to bring so many all the way down. I'm Joshua Stewart and thank you for joining us here today for this playoff fixture. Of course, the last time we were here, the Solent Kestrels faced off against the MK Breakers in the league decider. And unfortunately for home fans, the MK Breakers emerged victorious, winning the league by just 1 point. But the new season is here, the playoffs, a new competition. The Kestrels will be hoping they make sure they can go one step further and get some success. Manchester have travelled a long way. Melbourne wanting to make sure that journey was not in vain, as they will also try and secure their place in the next round. We spoke to both coaches about their thoughts ahead of today's game. So Matt, last time we were here, it was the league decider. Unfortunately, Kestrels couldn't quite get it done. What were your thoughts on that game?
First, I was so proud of the guys. I mean, we left everything out there. We prepped really well during the week. I thought we actually put together a really good performance. Unfortunately, we just fell a little bit short. But what a spectacle it was for the league. You want a league decider to go down to a final basket, and it did. Just unfortunately, we were on the losing end of that.
And since then, has been a little break between these two fixtures. Are you worried there might be any hangover left over on your players of losing that game in such heartbreaking fashion?
No, I think if it was, the following weekends, potentially. But the fact we've had a couple of weeks, it's been a really good time to reset. No game last weekend, so the players are really excited to get back on the floor, and it's the playoffs are a completely new season. So we draw a line under the previous league game, and look forward to this next game we've got tonight.
So you are playing against Manchester, a team you haven't faced so far this season. Has that changed the preparations in any way, knowing you're against a team that you haven't had the opportunity to play against and see what their strengths and weaknesses are?
So we have seen a little bit of Manchester in terms of a couple of their league games. They've retained a lot of the group that played in Division 1 last year, and Manchester is one of the top programmes in the country. So a lot of these players have come through that programme. So they're well drilled, they're well coached, they've got really good chemistry, it'll be an interesting battle tonight.
League basketball and playoff basketball, very two different competitions, as you just alluded to. Are you looking to play the same way, or is there going to be a change in tactics you might see from the Kestrels tonight?
Yeah, for us, it's much of the same. Our form throughout the year was really good. We've done a number of things well. We've spoken on some things that we want to do and want to execute out of today's game. But much of the same.
Thank you for talking to us, and good luck for today.
Thank you.
So Pete, we're standing here now just as the playoffs are about to begin. Did you think you'd be here considering the start of the season where you seem to struggle in Manchester with a few losses in the first 5 games?
Yeah, I think we got off to a really good start. I think we were 7-1, something like that. We lost one of the early ones. We seem to be really hitting our stride, and I mean, I know every coach says it, we've been plagued with injuries. We've had quite a few guys out for most of the season, so it's trying to find another way to play. Still trying to get some of those wins. We got some really good ones on the road, especially late in the season. I think we had a run of 4 or 5 games that we had losses, and then it was really up for grabs, I suppose. St Helens and Bristol Hurricanes had already cemented first and second, and then from us it was us and about 5 or 6 other teams fighting for third and fourth, and we just had a pretty good run to finish the season. So we're quite happy where we are considering.
Your reward for that good run is a trip to the Kestrels. You've lost only 1 league game in the last league game against Milton Keynes. Are you hoping to take advantage of that heartbreaking loss and make sure their misery doubles down today?
No, not at all. It doesn't work like I've watched the Kestrels play. Obviously, we played against them in D1 last year as well. I know for both our teams now it's very, very different squads, and a lot younger squads probably than we both had in Division 1. But yeah, no, they play good basketball. I've known Matt Guyman for a long, long time. And yeah, he's a good coach and he's got his team well organised, so it's going to be a tough one, but we're ready for it.
Coming in as the number 3 seed, what is the ambitions of his playoff campaign? Are your eyes purely on lifting that silver at the end, or what would constitute a successful trip for Manchester?
We want to be competitive. Obviously, we want to get the win. I'm not the type of coach that looks beyond that. Concentrate on each game as it comes and get the win in each one that we can get the win in, and yeah, we'll lay it all on the floor.
And finally, who are you looking to in your squad to hopefully get the win today?
I think by committee, if I'm honest. We have a lot of talented guys in our squad. We've had, leading scorers are different most weeks. Similar to Solent, like they have a lot of guys that are in double digits throughout the season. So yeah, by committee really.
Well, thank you for talking to us and good luck for today.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
So we heard from both the coaches there, both looking optimistic going into the game. I'm joined now by Tom Merrill. Tom, who are you looking to perhaps gain an edge early on in this game?
I mean, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Kestrels coming off a perfect season until that final game, and Manchester having a really competitive season in Division 2 North. They've got multiple guys that can have really good games. You see from Division 1 last season, it was really competitive for them. But Kestrels having all 5 starters scoring in double digits per game on average is a massive start for them. That means anyone can get going really early. But likewise with Manchester, when Kestrels went up there in an away game last year, Andre Gale hit 9 threes in a loss, but he's someone that needs to be shut down early for the Kestrels.
Of course, you mentioned the Kestrels. Last time we were here, very, very heartbreaking game for them. Are you worried about any mental loss they might have had? Because that's the first league loss they've had all year. That's going to surely have an effect.
It might have a small effect, but I think these guys are well drilled enough to know that it's just another game. As much as it meant it was the league title on that day, any other game it could have been that, and all it is just a 1 loss in the column. They finished on the same record as the Breakers. It's just unfortunate it was a 2-point difference. But these guys should have the brains to switch off and switch back on, like you said in the interview with Matt. They had a couple of weeks off, and hopefully these guys will be ready to go.
Of course, we have now had the Easter break in between. It's been about a 3-week period since these teams last played. Maybe we're going to see some rustiness from the 2 teams as they try and get back into action.
It might be a slow start. It could be a very slow start. We might see a couple of minutes until we get into double-digit scores. But equally, teams could come out all guns blazing. I mean, either team could come out and jump to a 10-point lead quickly. We've seen Kestrels do that multiple times this season. Manchester have had some nice tough wins in the D2 North in the road. And the distances you have to go in the D2 North, you can imagine Manchester having to travel all the way down to Bristol. The furthest Kestrels are really going is Ipswich and London. So these guys are used to long trips from last season and from this season. So they'll be ready for it as well. It'll be a really good matchup. There's no bad matchup now in the playoffs, so it'll be good.
It is an entirely different kind of competition. The teams that struggled, they're not in this. It's only the teams that managed to find the form to get into this competition. So you'd expect better quality basketball and a lot more successful shots to be made. But obviously, an immovable object, an unstoppable force, one thing's got to give. Who's your prediction to give today?
I think you do have to look at Kestrels probably coming out winners of this game. Manchester split it with them last season 1-1, but again 2 completely different teams, and Kestrels had the firepower to kind of blow teams out the water within 5 minutes of games. It's just whether they can hold that all together, get themselves going early, and like we said, take that breakers loss off their back.
We now turn our attention to the court as it looks like both teams are about ready to tip us off for this, the first playoff game of the 2023-24 NBL Division 2 series. As we see the ever-present Ashley Briggs go up against Goodall. Briggs.
Regular starting five for the Kestrels with Gerapi, Dads, Brandon Hughes and Briggs, as we've always seen. And the magic coming out with Ellie. Gordon, his first game back from injury for Gordon. He's played one game this season and he's returned from injury just for today, just in time for the playoffs. Yes. And then they've also come out with Andre Gale, Bailey Goodall, who'll do a really good job on Ash Briggs, I can imagine, and Time Regent Bascom.
He's going to have to, because there is quite discernible height difference between Goodall and Briggs. As Brandon goes sprawling across the court there, travelling a long way on his full.
Yeah, Gale's going to shoot that one. He's never going to let that one up. Yeah, early three there from Andre Gale. That's what I said earlier on. He can get himself going early, very quickly as well.
Of course, Kestrels not afraid of a three-pointer themselves. Garipi, Brandon, Hughes, Dads, all very able to score from long
Lovely
range.
Move there from Matt Hughes. Yeah, the Kestrels are shooting some really good percentages this year. I think Russ Gerapi's leading them overall, 40% from three, but these guys can shoot the ball. We even saw against the Breakers team. Ash Briggs knocked down a couple. Gale gets downhill, stops and looks to go on. Briggs, no good. And Martinelli looking to set up a late clock offense. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. To Farrah Gordon, fade away two. No good, but yeah, Bailey Goodall did get into work on that offensive glass early. He's not a guy that was going to look to score the ball. He's going to set lots of offences up, screens, offensive rebounds, hustling like we're seeing here.
Whistle is blown on Goodall whilst he was scrambling on the floor trying to retain possession.
Yeah, they've called it a jump ball there. It's going to be Kestrel's possession because Manchester had that first possession out of the jump ball, but I think that could have been called a travel there on a roll of Bailey Goodall, but it's going to be Kestrel's ball either way.
That's such a key fixture as a captain as well, and what a job as captain he has done. He's led this team to a lot of success in his reign.
Yeah, Elliot Dads, I think he's a 4-time league champion, 3-time cup champion, 1-time trophy champion, and then almost had that BBL trophy in amongst it early on a couple of years ago as well. But yeah, Elliot's been a mainstay of the Kestrels team for a very, very long time. That's the third time Martinelli's tried to get to the hoop there and failed. He's going to find Briggs on the perimeter. Set up a screen here for Elliot Dads, bumping off Andre Gale. No foul called, and Manchester's going to get out on the break. Hughes doing a good job of getting a hand on the ball.
Again, there was Goodall getting the rebound. You mentioned earlier that he was so key in that aspect. It's the free from Gale. Doesn't fall that time.
Yeah, those of you who recognised Andre Gale, watched Division 1 games last season, he was a part of the rebound three-point contest at the end of the season. I think he was averaging high 30s, low 40s from three last year. This season averaging 30% from three on 14.4 points per game. But he's going to get his shots up today.
Scrooby finds Briggs.
Yeah,
nice passing move there, and Hughes gets a second.
Kestrels are really fortunate at this club with the men's and the women's side of Ash Briggs and Flora Cottrell being two of the best passing bigs I've seen play basketball this season in Division 1 women's and the Division 2 men's side. As Farrah Gordon's going to go to the hoop, just miss. Foul called on Ash Briggs on the box out, cutting underneath Time Regent Bascom there, who was going up for the rebound. Called for a push.
Ash Briggs already not looking too happy with the referees, as we're only just under 3 minutes in.
Ash is rarely happy with the referees, as that be said. Goodall looking for a handoff with Farrah Gordon, going to go to work on Briggs, get downhill and throw the ball out of bounds there. You can see there just from that possession there, Goodall's not looking towards the basket. He averages just 2.9 points a game, but he's a brilliant defensive impact and a brilliant kind of offensive creation player for the Magic.
Fortunately, he also wasn't looking at his teammate there either, let alone the hoop, as he sends the ball straight out of bounds. Brandon gets started. How long was that going to take before he gets his name on the board?
There's going to be a joke in here about his short hair at some point today. Great find there from Ellie to Gordon. Foul called there on Ash Briggs. I don't really know what else he could have done there to avoid the foul. Been warned there by the referee for a technical.
Matt Guyman there being very proactive, I think, in taking Ash Briggs off in place of Will Taylor.
I mean, you can't play much better defence than Ash Briggs has there. He's very unlucky to get the foul call, but that is the second foul call on Ash Briggs, so too early means he's going to have to go to the bench. And young Will Taylor's going to come into the game early in Ash's place. That's a common switch on the Kestrels bench for Will to come in for Ash, but not quite this early regularly. It's Farrow Gordon is on the line.
It's a very friendly roll there.
That one drops. Gordon didn't play for the Magic D2 to D1 team last year, but when they won the playoffs the year before in Division 2, he was the finals MVP against Kestrels. So a few of the Kestrels guys, like Ash Briggs, are going to know Farrow Gordon quite well. Geraghty looking to go downhill, pull up in Bailey Goodall's face. That's short. Taylor on the offensive glass doesn't quite get the rebound as Gordon looks to break for the Magic. Slow things down. Gordon pull up. Very off right there. Geraghty gets out. Martinelli contests at the hoop. And Geraghty finishes at the hoop.
Ash Briggs calling for the foul on the sideline there, just being told to quieten down by Matt Guyman. It did look like there was some contact as Geraghty went up there.
Yeah, Briggs is clearly rattled from the, not rattled, but riled up from the early foul calls from the referee, getting himself into the game as Andre Gale pulls up in the mid-range. Goodall called for the foul after his offensive rebound, called for a push there, similar to what Ash Briggs did on Regent Bascom. He's called for it. At least there's a commonality in the calls, and it's not just that one for Briggs. Guyman's looking to still calm down Briggs on the end of the Kestrels bench down there.
Manchester only bring in 8 players. If one of them does end up fouling out, that's not going to leave many options for them.
Yeah, gambling there. Geraghty. That's normally bread and butter for Russ Geraghty in the mid-range as he gets his own offensive rebound off an Issa Brandon tip. Floater over Regent Bascom for 2.
Makes amends very quickly, does Russ Geraghty. It's a nice spin move there in the paint from Ellie. Doesn't find the success he was looking for. Brandon just about being able to find Dads there. Hughes with the easy layup through the back door. Left wide open. Timeout called.
Yeah, good job from Kestrels there. They do a really good job all season of forcing teams into early timeouts, and kind of a timeout here for Coach Pete is not what he'd want after 5 minutes of the basketball game. Kestrels going on a small 5-0 run here, and he's looking to put a stop to that quite quickly.
As he's only 12-5 halfway through the first quarter. By no means at all a blowout or a commanding lead.
No, but we've seen Kestrels play this season. They can very quickly extend that one out. So it's probably a wise decision there from the coach to call a timeout, slow that run down quite early, and look to get his team back on the scoring sheet after an early score from two free throws from Gordon and an early score from Gale. There's not been much else.
As basketball fans remind us so often in every game, it is a long game. There's 4 quarters, and there are a reason comebacks exist. As I'm sure, you know, we think back to the MK Breakers. Solent had a big lead early on in that game and couldn't hold on to it. So I'm sure Manchester will be remembering that.
Yeah, definitely. I think Manchester are quite aware of what Kestrels can do, and Kestrels will be still aware of what Manchester can do, but comebacks are never off until the final buzzer goes. Yeah, like you said, Breakers going back from a 20-point deficit early in the first quarter for Kestrels. Made some adjustments for what Kestrels were doing, and Manchester are going to look to do the same thing, as Saul Mays checked in for the first time. So has Dan Davies for the Manchester Magic.
and magically get us underway. I should very briefly point out, if you did join us after our pre-match conversation, this is the Manchester Magic. We are not about to watch Paolo Banchero and Markel Fultz in Southampton.
I wish. Good finish there from Dan Davies on Will Taylor. I'm still yet to go and watch a live NBA game. That is definitely on my bucket list. Russ Garapi looking to set the offensive up here for Kestrels, finding Hughes, Brandon on the backcourt, back cut even, sorry, Taylor, Brandon mid-range, that's off. And there you go, that's the stop that Magic will look for. There's a score and a stop for Manchester early on after the timeout. Regent Bascom downhill, that one's off. Dad's going to get out and running for Kestrels, looking to find an open pass. Brandon downhill, through contact.
Gets the whistle. Brandon in his short hair buzzing through there.
Foul called there on Martinelli. And a bit of disbelief as he's called for his second foul of the game. Looked like that foul might have been on Andre Gale, but no, called on Martinelli.
See there, Manchester coach Pete, just not quite sure why that was a foul. Believed his player got the ball. As Brandon sinks his first.
Yeah, Brandon has been improving his free throw percentages all year round. I think he started the year early, low 60s, and he's getting to his high 60s, early 70s now as he knocks both of those down. Keeps the lead at 7. Ball pressure here on Dan Davies as Saul May catches up the top. Hesitation move downhill. Finishes, looks to finish even, sorry, with the underarm, but no foul call there. Taylor downhill. Great finish there from Will Taylor.
It's a much tougher finish. There's a wide open lane in the Kestrels' defence there, but weren't punished for it, and then Taylor decided to show this is how you do it.
Teaching the ways. The young man May downhill, push off to get some space. Regent Bascom in the mid-range. He does like that shot commonly. Yeah, there it is. Because that one's short. He absolutely killed us with that last year, that mid-range. Brandon just cutting straight down the middle, finding Will Taylor posting up Dan Davies. Hook shot, back rim, no good.
Can't get his own rebound either.
Euro step. Great stand-up defense there from Elliot Dadds. Hughes, Euro step. Another block, Garapi
gets the foul.
Fouled there by Regent Bascom.
Very little argument about that one. So 2 failed Euro steps in a row there. I'm sure our American counterparts will find that a bit funny.
Garapi on the line here for 2 free throws.
Sings his first. Because he missed the jumper from the free throw line earlier in this game. When both feet are on the floor, seems to have a bit more success.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but 2 completely different shots for a mid-range shooter. Garapi really raises quite high off the floor in the mid-range, and obviously just a set shot there for a free throw. It's a lot simpler, 80% free throw shooter Garapi this season, so common finishes. Mulhern, first time into the game, pulls down the rebound. Brandon out on the break, sends Andre Gale flying. And that finishes.
Very calm there, Issa Brandon. Knew the block was coming in.
Phil May setting off off the
steal. What's about to happen?
Throws it down. Issa Brandon throws it down.
There's the answer. New haircut, same man.
More aerodynamics. I can't say the word. More aerodynamics for Issa Brandon without the massive throw. Gale step through on Ili Taiwo. Buries it. Second 3 there for Andre Gale. Ilias cutting. Turnover by lob thrown to Gordon. Back to Gale. Bumped off the contact.
A good 1-2 though there. Really took Elliot Dadds out of the equation, but
good defense from Andre Gale. Good defense there from the Magic as
bit of disbelief there that they don't get the ball.
Turnover, yeah, almost a forced turnover.
as Garipi comes off in place of Asa Aziz, someone whose speed surprises me every time I see him. Asa Aziz.
Well, Ace, yeah, Ace is a good player, Ace. So he's going to look to set an offence up here. Finds Taiwo in the corner, pump fake downhill. Looks to pass off there to Elliot Dads as throws it out of bounds.
There's some of that rustiness we were on about earlier. Nice Easter break. I'm sure many chocolate eggs were consumed.
Gordon finding Pierce.
Gale. And speaking of eggs, there's a basket found.
Andre Gale's going to get himself going here. That's three threes in the first quarter for him, and I mentioned it early as he gets a steal there off Ace Aziz, loses his dribble but finishes. Andre Gale's on to 11 very, very quickly here for the Magic. 11 of their 15 points. Brandon downhill and one.
And one. Very nice finish there. Had no right to.
Yeah, great finish from Issa Brandon there. Just sliding himself straight through the contact.
Just mentioning there that Gale was way out ahead on 11. Issa Brandon must have heard you. He's now on 10 with the opportunity to make it 11. Bit of a commentator's curse there for Manchester. Just to make it a 10-point lead for the Kestrels. Misses.
No good as Pierce pulls down the rebound. First time he's in the game as Gordon's going to look to set an offence up here for the Magic. Indeed, Ramesh Aziz squeezing through the gap between the ball screen and the player. Pierce spins to the hoop. Brandon pulls down the rebound and out we go to the races. Taylor
gets the whistle, I believe.
Yeah, whistle blown on number 10, Saul May. Basket interference given, so basket good for Will Taylor. And it's just going to be the one free throw here. Some early rotation here for Coach Guyman as down 4. Malloy's going to check in for Issa Brandon for the last 31 seconds of the quarter.
Someone very similar to Goodall in that he's not predominantly a point scorer. He's someone more on the defensive side and helps create the offense other than finishing it off.
Dan's been a key part of Kestrel's defences in the last few games.
He only joined midway through the season, wasn't there for the start of it.
Yeah, played at Worcester Wolves early on. Great pass there. Great ball.
A great block. Just unfortunately a bit too much contact on the follow through there.
Yeah, caught him on the arm. Will Taylor called for the foul. First foul of the game. Dan Davies is going to shoot. That was me. Sorry. Good. That was Dan Davies is going to shoot the 2 free throws to cut that Kestrels lead back down to single digits. 20 seconds left in the quarter for Kestrels. Got to look for a score here. Use the whole clock up, and yeah, look to make that double-digit leader a certain at the end of the first. It stands at 26-15 currently. Dan Davies knocks the first free throw down.
Manchester been quite good so far from the line. Of course, that was something the Kestrels have struggled with in recent games. They've given a lot of fouls away, and teams have started to punish them for it.
Yeah, that one makes Manchester 100% from the line. Cuts the lead down to 9. This is going to be the last possession of the first quarter, unless we get another one coming the other way for the Magic. 15 seconds left on that clock as it ticks down. Asa looking to set up an offence.
10 seconds now.
Locked, and in this Taiwo finishes.
Gordon thought very briefly about the half-court shot there, decided not to.
Thought about his stats over the possibility of a make. 11-point lead then for the Kestrels. 28 points scored, so a good scoring output for them, but I think 17 for the Magic will be a slight disappointment. I think they've let them have a few too easy scores, but I'm sure Matt Guyman will look to tighten those things up.
It does seem that there is an obvious answer to stop that score for Manchester creeping up, and it's one man on one perimeter. Gale.
Yeah, Andre Gale lighting it up early on. I said it pre-game, he's hit 3 threes now, going 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. He creates space really, really well, Andre Gale does. Has a lovely little step back and a side step and shoots. It's really hard to contest, he shoots really high, but yeah, he's the one that's got them going early on. They're 2 for 14 from inside the 3-point line, but 3 for 5 from beyond the line, and then obviously shooting that 100% from the free throw line. And Kestrels are shooting kind of complete contrast, 66% from inside, 12 for 18, and just the one shot from 3 that wasn't good from Russ Garapé, and 4 for 6 from the line.
That is surely bound to change. Kestrels never afraid of a three-pointer and have had a lot of success with it. But as you say, only 1 attempt so far. A bit surprising, but when you have the success in the interior, when it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, you've got to go whatever the defense gives you. If they're going to give you open looks at the hoop, you're going to take those 100% over a three-pointer. Higher percentages, and that'll mean more points for the Kestrels.
Issa Brandon, Garipi, Taylor, Dads and Foyle Malloy return to the court for the home side. So about to begin this second quarter.
Manchester coming out with Regent Bascom, Gale, Pearce, Davies and Gordon.
As Pirates of the Music theme song is playing. We are on the coast, but it's not been plain sailing by any means for the Kestrels.
Good off-ball defence there by down for Malloy on Andre Gale as Brandon gets the steal. The spin finds Dads. That one's no good. Brandon offensive rebound and the finish.
And with that goes into the lead as the game's top scorer with 12 to his name so far. He's averaging over 23 points a game so far this season, Issa Brandon. Well on his way to meeting that again.
Josh Pearce nearly throwing the turnover there. Jab step down the lane. And that one's just short. Will Taylor battling for the defensive rebound. Referees simultaneously pointed opposite directions, but it's going to be a Manchester Magic ball.
That's why you're a 3. There's always one to break the tie. Interestingly enough, both Will Taylor
Great defense
and Regent
there
Bascom
for
pointed the
Malloy.
same way.
That one's going to be called a foul there on down for Malloy. Putting some pressure there on Andre Gale.
Gale looked a little confused that the foul was actually called there. Wasn't expecting it.
Regent Bascom throwing the pump fake from Garapé, getting free. There's for Malloy rips it, goes to the hoop, finds cutting Will Taylor. He's quadruple team down low. Garapé in the mid-range. That one's good. Rolls around and drops in.
Is that what he needs to get his eye in?
Regent Bascom mid-range, back iron, no good. Dan Davies pulls down the offensive rebound. Farrah Gordon for 3. That one's good.
So it becomes a 12-point game.
Just about keeping themselves in touching distance of the Kestrels, they are, to be fair. Kestrels getting out to a 15-point lead, then Magic nailing the 3, keeping themselves within touching distance. As Garapé on the perimeter, 3 ball.
Responds.
That one's good. Nothing but strings there for Russ Garapé. Great find there from Issa Brandon as he drove. Gale throws the pump fake. Great contest there from Will Taylor, but clearly a foul, but no score is the key thing there. And Andre Gale's going to go to the line.
If you're going to commit a foul, make sure they don't score. Of course, we are not condoning any fouls or foul behaviour at all. Sometimes the situation does call for it. Tactical fouls, I believe they're called.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, make sure they don't put the ball in the basket. That's what all coaches normally say. He knocks the first one down, but at this level it doesn't really tend to matter. Some high free throw percentage shooters, some very good free throw percentage shooters across the league.
Again,
Gale goes 2 for 2 from the line.
the Magic enjoying their trips to the line.
Hughes checking in for Will Taylor, who's got 2 fouls. Dad's for 3, that's good, as Issa Brandon's still down here on the near side. Manchester Magic end. I think it's more of a knock than an injury.
Seemed like most of the court seemed to forget that Brandon was down, and
You got to keep playing till that whistle goes, and Dads did that and knocked the 3 down. Russ Garapi very quickly has got into double digits for the Kestrels on 11 points, Brandon on 12. Kestrels eking themselves out to a 16-point lead over the Manchester Magic with 7 minutes 45 left as Chairman Matt Bishop sweeps up the sweat off Issa Brandon, and Kestrels going to go into a full court press. Full Malloy beaten on the drive by Gordon, who slows it down.
good screen there from Davies.
Mid-range. Good shot there from Farrow Gordon as he nails the mid-range.
Paul Malloy, some nice handles there. Good ball control. Another mid-range jumper missing for Garipi.
Yeah, Russ just looking to get himself going there. Gordon to the hoop, finishes. There we go. Matt Guyman timeout, and Manchester again just eke themselves back in.
It's only a 12-point deficit. Looked like when it got to 16, maybe the Kestrels could stretch out far enough to potentially take their foot a little bit off the pedal, conserve some energy for later in the game. But Magic very quickly reminded them that wasn't to be the case.
Yeah, both teams throwing punches at each other here. It's good basketball at both ends. Obviously, Kestrel's holding on to that lead. It may be that it just swings from a 12 to a 16-point lead for the foreseeable of the first half. But Kestrel's looking to hold on to that early on.
The city of Southampton are in good spirits coming into this game. Southampton Football Club won their match. It's fantastic weather. It's been a good day for the city, and hopefully this will be able to a win for the Kestrels to make sure they can put the cherry on top of a proud day.
The under-18s have just won their first round of their playoff matchup with against Reading Rockets, and then the 14 boys sadly lost out earlier on today to the Bracknell Cobras. But all around, a very good day of basketball, very good day of football, and some lovely weather. Just seems to be creeping in. Summer is slowly coming.
Of course, not a current Kestrel, but certainly a former one. Saw European glory earlier this week. Hayne Dean winning with the London Lions at the Euro Cup. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, I mean, that was an absolutely amazing occasion. Faye to be a part of that team this year just says to her successes last year and how brilliant she's been on and off the court, and it's a great opportunity for her to learn and off these women that are striving to make the sport so brilliant. But that game in front of 5,000 people at the Copper Box was just the pinnacle of British basketball. Russ Garapi with the acrobatic finishes.
There.
Finish there from Martinelli. Great finish there as Guyman doesn't seem happy with Ilyas Taiwo's defence as Hughes goes downhill. Pass is picked off by Tyne Regent Bascom.
Taiwo, one of those players where he may not be the most consistent, but if you ever forget about him, he very quickly reminds you what he's capable of.
Yeah, I'll come out with an exclamation mark dunk or go like 100% from three. Some random things Ilyas does week in, week out.
Well, it won't be 100% threes this week.
No, misses everything there on that three-point attempt as Regent Bascom looks to get downhill. Dan Davies on the dribble drive. There we go, will be on the three-point line. Three is no good for Andre Gale, but again, he's not afraid to take them.
Hughes finds an open lane, but can't get the finish off the back iron.
Gale downhill on Dads, foul called and one.
Brandon, I think, getting the whistle there.
Yeah, foul called on Issa Brandon, yeah, you're right.
His first off the game. Unfortunately, I might have to bring up some bad memories for the Kestrels fans. Last time here, he was fouled out.
Last two times that he was fouled out. Essex Rebels in the cup and MK Breakers here. It's the two games Kestrels have lost, so they need Issa Brandon to stay in the game, stay active, and look to win the Kestrels the game. Andre Gale moving on to 16 points now. Foul called by Bailey Goodall on the floor, on the reach.
Gives him a second of the day. Again, someone else not happy with the referee's decision on that occasion. But I would argue very few players are.
Therapy downhill, lovely move.
Can't
Just rolls out there, good contest there from Dan Davies at the hoop. Regent Bascom in transition, downhill. Good finish, floater off the glass.
And it's now a 7-point game.
Just like that, Magic have cut it down. They do it very quietly. A good offensive team and a good defensive team, Manchester Magic. They go about their business very quietly and very efficiently. Brandon behind the back, pump fake, finds Hughes. And another turnover. Goodall rebound and Regent Bascom has the ball. Looking to trim this to a 4 or 5 point lead. Dan Davies finds Regent Bascom in the corner, swings through mid-range. That one's off. Brandon pulls the rebound down and gets the Kestrels out and going. Bounces off Bailey Goodall for his third foul of the game.
Issa Brandon, a veteran of the game, knew exactly what he was doing there.
Very clever, knowing a man has 2 fouls already, and you don't want guys in foul trouble early in the first half even, sorry.
That is Goodall's third. As Brandon gets a trip to the line. He misses the first attempt. Before Elliot Dads may have had a few more points to his name at this point in the game. Only 3 so far, as Brandon makes a second.
Ash Briggs is going to step back into the game for the Kestrels.
In place of Brandon. Which makes me think Tyra will be a bit more active on the perimeter. There's been a few occasions where, despite not being as tall as a traditional big man, because of his ability to leap up in the air, he's been utilised as that kind of makeshift.
There we go. Big. So 6 point game now with that finish from Martelli. And Briggs looking to post up Regent Bascom. Great move there from Ash Briggs, just backing Regent Bascom down. Just too big down there as he gets the game into an 8-point lead. Gale downhill, no good. Hughes rebound. And a foul called by tying Regent Bascom.
That's his second. A few fouls starting to appear now on the board next to Manchester Magic players' names.
Briggs down low again, no good.
Davies sent sprawling to the floor.
Regent Bascom on the drive.
Very hopeful looking shot there. Doesn't go. Tyra ends up headering that out of bounds. It's the wrong sport.
Taiwo going to check out here for Sean Mulhern.
Super Sweeper comes out yet again. Been a key player so far today.
We're going to be back underway.
Davies, the man to kick things off again. So he finds Ellie.
Three-point shot for Farrah Gordon, nails it. There we go, 5-point lead. Cutting away here are the Magic on the Kestrels lead. Going to make it interesting as Hughes catches and finishes. Kestrels can't find the bottom of the hoop. There's Manchester the opposite. They're finishing pretty much everything as Briggs goes straight up. Gordon, no good. Garapi downhill, finds Dads. Finds Mulhern for three. There we go, there's Sean Mulhern.
Wide open at the top. He says, thank you very much. Magic did so well to get that to such a close game, but then when you give up shots like that, it's got to be quite disheartening to see.
Gordon finds Dan Davies. Gale in the corner. Short. Garapi on the break. No foul called. Hughes blocked by Dan Davies.
Yeah, it was a good block by Davies. Had to make sure we didn't get any contact on the man. Brandon back into the game for Hughes.
Dubious call here from the referee. As Kestrels are claiming it should be a Kestrels ball. I think they might be right, but obviously if it's a Magic ball, then they'll take it. But no, Kestrels ball on the sideline as they've turned over their decision. Briggs looking to back down. Dan Davies finds. Oh. Turned over there by Ash Briggs, thrown out of bounds.
Suddenly their free-flowing passing moves from the first quarter just not being able to be replicated. Things just very slightly off, over half a second out of sync.
Gale ripped through, finds Davies.
Gets the whistle.
Foul called on Issa Brandon, so that's his second of the game.
And he Misses the first miss, I believe, from the line for the Magic.
Yeah, the Magic now 8 for 7 from the line. Still very good numbers for them, but Kestrels need to up their numbers from the line. 5 for 8 if they're going to keep track with the Magic. Misses the second, so not a great trip there from the Magic to the line. Therapy swings to Brandon. Jab step, drive, behind the back. Doing it all. Mulhern for 3.
Gets it.
Drops it in. Sean Mulhern, 2 for 2 from 3. Early numbers here from Mulhern in his short time on the court.
And how quickly momentum swings again. 11 points now, the gap.
Gordon pump fake, step through. That one's off. Garapi rebound. Out gets Dad straight downhill. Easy as you like.
Almost looked a little confused as to why there was such few opposition in his way.
This is the devastation of Kestrel. Gale, step back 3. No good. See, a few stops, few scores, and Kestrels are out to a 13-point lead, which was a 5-point lead. 8-point swing here for the Kestrels. Finds Briggs. Elliot Dad's in the corner. No good. Magic out on the break. Garapi picks it off. Dad's in the... Mulhern in the corner.
Can't get it. Whistle blown.
Foul called on Ash Briggs again for a push in the back.
That's his third. And he's not looking any happier than when the first and second were called either.
Lloyd and Taylor are going to check into the game for Briggs.
And Brandon, it looks like. No.
Briggs and Brandon, yeah. So it's going to be Brandon and Briggs head to the bench. 24.1 seconds left on the clock, and Magic are going to go to the line as they're in team fouls. So 5 team fouls from the Kestrels results in any foul, meaning the Magic go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
It's 8 team fouls in total for the Kestrels. 9 in total for the Magic. They've just managed to spread them out a bit better. This timeout is called. With 24.1 on the clock until we get to half-time. The half-time does have a performance from the Solent Ravens. So we do have entertainment in the break.
Russ Garapi and Issa Brandon leading Kestrels in scoring, 13 apiece. Farrah Gordon and Andre Gale, 12 and 16 respectively in the scoring column. Rebounding, Russ Garapi with 10 rebounds already, so already has himself a double-double in 17.5 minutes of play for himself. For the Magic, Regan Baskin with 4 rebounds and Dan Davies with 6.
Quite interesting. Garipi and rebounds aren't usually 2 words that go together in a sentence.
No, but for such a small guard, Russ is a very good rebounder for his size. He props up with 4 or 5 normally a game, but 10 in this one is pretty impressive early on.
Now the players return to the court for the final seconds, potentially the final possession of the first half.
Yeah, Saul May on the line for the Magic. First one's good. Don't want to get in a close game with the Magic because, as you can see, very good free throw shooters. They'll kill you from the line late on in the game. So Kestrel's doing a good job of keeping that lead out. 11-point lead now. As Kestrels do have a shot clock. 10 seconds left on the clock for Kestrels. They're going to use this up as much as they possibly can. Hand off there. Joe Lloyd in the corner. Off. Taylor, offensive rebound. 3 seconds. 1 second. Gale, long haul, well over the basket there as half-time comes. 11-point lead to the Kestrels, 51-40. Manchester just about in touch with the Kestrels, out ahead.
A deserved lead, but also deserved is not a comfortable one. Manchester have done enough to make sure that Solent have to keep looking over their shoulders. They cannot rest on their laurels.
Yeah, Kestrels have played well this first half. Brandon and Garapi scoring the ball at will, but Briggs in foul trouble could bring a bit of trouble later on to the Kestrels, but Gale and Gordon are doing a terrific job of keeping the Magic within touching distance. But yeah, as the Solent Ravens set up here, now we will hand over to them shortly.
As they set up, we will return with coverage just before the second half begins. And it should be mentioned that not only do they provide match day entertainment for the Kestrels, the Ravens do also compete in national competitions. The hip hop squad winning the national championship not too long ago. But now we turn our attention to their performance. We'll see you just before the second half tips off.
Okay, please welcome onto the floor then the Solent Ravens. Ladies and gentlemen, the Solent Ravens, put your hands together. Okay, I'd now like to invite the Club Chairman Matt Bishop come up into the front of the court here. We've got a couple of presentations that we'd like to make. And over the last 3 years, well, pretty much since COVID actually, we've been really, really fortunate to live stream our games. It started off being done through an iPad, which wasn't particularly good. And then the in-house TV organisation, or TV club here, Sonar, asked to get involved. And from that minute on, our live stream coverage has been absolutely phenomenal. And it's increased and improved every single week over the last 3 years. They're an amazing crew. Last year, they won the National Student Association TV Awards. They won gold in that for their sports production of the basketball here at the SSC. And this year, some of you may well have watched something called Nothing But Net, which was broadcast from here. An amazing production, 40-odd people involved, millions of pounds worth of equipment, and a stellar production that won them a repeat gold award at the NASTA presentations that happened last week. So we'd like to invite their president, Ben Kalaki, to come up, please, and receive the trophy. And while he's up here, I said to him I was going to embarrass him. So this is Ben's last game here at the SSC. He finishes his degree and moves on after today. We really couldn't have done this without you and your amazing team. You know, what you've done, the innovation, the professionalism has been second to none. Last year as well, we won Division 1 Women Match Day Experience, and that's down not only to what happens here in the hall, but also the live stream stuff as well. Week in, week out, it's been absolutely amazing. Ben, a couple of things in there that we'd like to give to you to show our appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Ben Kalaki and Sonar TV! Yeah, let's have you all out here. We'll get one big photo. And also a big hand for our resident photographer as well. I like embarrassing people, you know that. Well done, Kai, thank you. Oh, I think we're also just waiting for Cliff, the man who started it all off on his iPad during COVID when we were allowed to return to play. We weren't allowed a crowd, but we could actually get games going underway. Okay, thank you for everything you've done, Sonar TV, so far. Looking forward to working with you again next year. we could please ask you to clear the court so the teams can warm up, please. If you could please clear the courts.
going again, with him and Garapi leading the line with 13 points apiece. And here we go, so ball's back in play.
And the very, very familiar 5 for the Kestrels out on the court.
Briggs, offensive rebound, brilliant work from Ash Briggs.
Of course, Briggs and Goodall both on 3 fouls apiece. Going to have to be careful going into the second half.
Yeah, Matt Guyman clearly trusting Briggs to go into the game with his 3 fouls, and Goodall sitting on the bench for the Magic. Brandon for 3. That's off. Farrah Gordon pulls down the rebound. Gordon looking to use the Davies screen. Downhill, spins on Dads. Just drops the turnaround jumper in with the nice bounce around the rim.
9-point game.
Unlucky there from Elliot Dads with the look for Ash Briggs cutting down the lane.
Briggs using enough of his know-how and experience to let that go.
Briggs on the spin, finger roll.
Drives down the byline, gets the finish. Good movement there from Garipi to create the space. Drew out his marker.
Yeah, that's a common play Kestrels go to, passing the ball on the inbounds to the big, and the guard running off it. But here we go again, Kestrels out. Brandon offensive rebound, sends Time Regent Bascom flying. And Brandon gets the finish.
It becomes a 13-point game.
Game just swinging back and forth so far today. Kestrels got out to that early lead in the first quarter, and then Magic just keeping themselves within touching distance. Regent Bascom downhill, stolen by Issa Brandon, out ahead to Garapi, and a finish, great finish there from Garapi. Brandon was hunting for the lob, and Hughes ran the floor really well as well, but Garapi finishes the underhand. Dan Davies looking to spin, meets the brick wall of Ash Briggs.
Foul called.
Foul.
Believe on Dads.
Reference Steve House calling that one. Gordon downhill, Brandon on the spin.
Is he going to go?
Foul there by Andre Gale. Farrah Gordon looks in a bit of pain here for the Magic. I think it might just be a dead leg though.
Brandon did really well to not lose his balance there, because that would have been a very heavy fall. Should he have found the ground. There's also a line of cheerleaders in his way who, it looks like he would have toppled like a bowling ball and pins.
Toppled about 4 of them, I reckon. Brandon on the line, first one's good, 3 cell. Shooting now 4 for 7 from the line.
Just a bit under his usual standard. That's a bit more like it, 2 from 2 this time around. And suddenly it's a 17-point game. How soon ago were we saying it was a 9-point deficit?
Kestrels doing a really good job of managing their lead. Magic making their inroads, and Kestrels just punching straight back. Clear game plan on Ellie there to go under screens and force him to drive, because he's not as much of a shooter. Andre Gale picks up the ball, and he's the opposite. Regent Bascom downhill finds Gale in the corner. That one's off. Briggs rebound.
Would have only counted for 2 as well. His foot just inside the white line.
Dad spinning downhill, no good. And rips it.
Matt Guyman, that whistle ball Matt Guyman out of his chair to the sideline.
Very late call there from the referee, kind of realised the dispute from the Magic bench and called that one. Gale looking to go work. Number 9 on number 9. Issa Brandon on defence. Great defence though. And the reach-in foul from Andre Gale. It's going to be his second of the game. Manchester's main man.
Losing out to Kestrels' main man that time around. But with a bit of an assist from Hughes.
Therapy setting up an offence here for the Diamond side. Pin down screen to get a one side there for Brandon, spinning downhill. No foul called. Regent Bascom downhill, getting deep into the paint, no good. Dan Davies on the offensive rebound, hook shot, no good. Briggs pulls down the defensive rebound, secures the ball for the Kestrels.
Great movement there on the Manchester attack. A lot of swaying back and forth, but Brandon shows how to finish.
Timeout for the Manchester Magic called there as Brandon pushes the lead out to a 19-point lead with 19 points of his own. Really the difference maker here for the Kestrels today. Though I say that, Gerapi with his 15 points, 11 rebounds is massive for them so far today.
Right. That's 120. Right? That's 120. Right? So I've got.
Magic whiteboard. Trying to wave his wand. Create some magic for the Magic. Can they cut with 19-point deficit?
Time goes, Farrow goes underneath. We play off Dre handoff. No matter what, Dre, play aggressive off Davis. Even if you just get to there, that's fine. And then Martel, and Bailey, get Farrow. Yep. Don't have to
goes to end the timeout from the Magic.
Two highly skilled coaches here today. They're obviously saying in the interviews before the game, both know each other, go back a long way together. Coaching at the highest level kind of throughout the last few years. Manchester Magic being in Division 1 last year. They seem to be one of the teams that are bouncing up and down between Division 1 and Division 2. But Kestrels obviously being a mainstay the last few years of Division 1 and this year being their first in Division 2 after the decision to drop down. Some full court pressure put out here by Kestrels. Martelelli going down the sideline, finding Andre Gale. Martelelli on the three-point line, driving, finding Regent Bascom downhill. Open three for Gale, off right, no good. Great rebound tip there from Briggs, pushing Hughes out in transition. Flips it up and no good.
Can't get the finish. Two great passages of play though there for both sides. Can't find the finish.
Manchester clean looking for the right shot. Regent Bascom hesitates, no good. Briggs rebound again. That's his 7th rebound of the game. Great pass from Issa Brandon.
Well, how nice was that to watch? Fast, crisp passing across the court. Briefly like we were watching American football for a second there. Free from Ellie. Can't fool. Another rebound for Briggs.
Gerapi, floater, butter, nothing but net, nothing but strings for Russ Gerapi as he moves himself on to 17 points with a double-double. A great 1-2 punch here from the Kestrels today in the guard front with Brandon and And Garapi, as Farrah Gordon knocks down the mid-range, moves himself onto 16 as well. 16 and 16 for him and Gale, who are clearly Manchester's main output of the scoring zones. Garapi for 3, the hot hand.
Gets it.
2 points.
That's a 3, in fact. Puts him on 20. First player to do so today.
Gale, deep 3, off left, no good.
Trying to remind Garipi he's not the only one who can hit him from deep. Aziz returns to the court, as does Taiwo in place of Hughes and Garipi.
Garapi's 3's been chalked off there to a 2, puts him back on 19 points. Briggs going to work, keeping his pivot, going to work on Farrah Gordon and finishes at the hoop. There we go, and the Kestrels stretch out to a 25-point lead now.
How long ago did that 9-point deficit seem?
Kestrels really making an emphasis on putting the Magic to bed. Saul May, punt fake on the wing. Briggs picks that one off. Dads picks it up, lob to Taiwo.
Oh, how nice would that have been?
That was high. I think that might have almost been too far out of reach for someone like Ilias Taiwo. Foul called there.
It's quite a difficult thing to do, to be able to put a ball that high out of reach.
I think the hard thing might be trying to put it high enough for Ilias. But that one a little bit too high from Dads, looking for the highlight play. Some substitutions here. Will Taylor's going to come into the game.
For Ash Briggs.
Yeah, for Ash Bridge, and time Regent Bascom's going to come out.
But it does speaks to the confidence of the Kestrels that they're willing to try those plays now. They're feeling the groove, they're feeling the rhythm. I don't think they would have risked that if it was only like a 15-point lead.
No, it's that element of showboating. Once you go a few up, kind of keep the crowd engaged, don't want to lose their interaction. But the Magic now on the line. Gale was missed the first free throw. It's his first miss from the line of the day. And his second one drops in. Aziz now on the court. Asa Aziz looking to set the offense up for the Kestrels. Bailey Goodall looking to be a nuisance.
Foul on Brandon, I believe.
No, foul on Asa Aziz, the illegal screen. Moving just as he set the pick for Issa Brandon.
Yet to score, Aziz. Goodall's back on the court. Again, he's got 3 fouls already.
Step back Jay from Gordon, no good. Great rebound from Ilias Taiwo. Looks to push the Kestrels out in transition. Brandon finds Taylor.
Gets the whistle.
And foul called on Josh Pearce.
That's his second of the game. Another with more fouls than points. It's not what you'd like to see when you're behind by so many. Taylor gets ready to go to the line. Brandon and Goodall there having a little bit of an exchange.
A few words going back and forth there. And Guyon was going to quickly get Brandon out of the game to cool his head down.
Goodall sarcastically applauds that decision. Unfortunately, when your team's 24 points down and you're being outscored by your opponent 19, maybe the battle is won, but the war is lost in that particular exchange.
Yeah, but Bailey Goodall's done his job there. Clearly got into Brandon's head. They've had to check him out of the game, check the leading scorer out of the game, and he's still there. And we can see if Magic can get on a run, but Goodall does a really good job of getting under people's skins in a way that it's not affecting his game or his team's game.
Taylor goes 1 hit and 1 miss from his trip to the line. Gives him 5 for the evening.
Good hands from Sean Mulhern there. And the ball goes out of bounds off him. Off the Andre Gale drive.
It does seem a lot of those drives, instead of going to the hoop, the Magic start to look outwards, back towards the perimeter to try and find an open man. It's Gale with a nice pass off the back of Aziz to himself and gets the finish.
Very clever. Clever there. Witty from Andre Gale as he gets the nice finish there. Moves himself onto 19 points. And almost gets the steal.
Almost so close for him. He's on 19 alongside Garipi and Brandon.
Another sellout crowd here at the SSC for Kestrels' final home game of the year. Foul by Josh Pearce on the body block. Yeah, as I was saying, another sellout crowd. Kestrels done a great job of integrating their fans throughout the year. Last few league regular season home games were a sellout. Obviously Milton Keynes a huge sellout, and then today here looking like it's a sellout. Goodall tips the ball free. And the ball goes out of bounds. Good hustle there from Bailey Goodall, though, to chase that one down after tipping that one free.
Just asked slightly too much of himself to be able to get there in time. And Gale took a three, which went in. There was more shooting practice
task
than
of guarding Asa Aziz here, which is an interesting matchup. Taylor to the hoop and finishes, just bumping off Josh Pearce there. With the lovely finish. Will Taylor moving on to 7 points.
Good awareness to wait there for the right time to take that shot.
Gordon 3 in the corner, no good. Mulhern rebound, pushes the ball, but Farrell Gordon gets a touch on it. Finds Andre Gale, who can't quite keep hold of the pass.
Suddenly Solent caught out at the back there. They weren't ready for the transitional attack.
Dads and Gordon here, two huge impacts on the game, both going to take a seat here halfway, or not even halfway, 1 minute 15 left in the third quarter. Kestrels leading 72-47, looking to make a bit of a playoff run post-season here. Taiwo on the wing, hands off to Asa Aziz. Goes to work on Saul May, blocked.
Gets his own rebound.
Gets his own rebound. Resets, up finish, no good. Offensive rebound by Will Taylor. Kicks out to Sean Mulhern, who drives and is fouled. Fouls on 14, Josh Pearce. 3 very quick fouls for Josh Pearce, moves him on to 4 fouls for the game. 47 seconds left in the third quarter.
As he sinks the first. Hamilton with 7, of course, those 2 3-pointers early in the first half.
Makes both.
The Kestrels, should they hold on to the win, will earn a trip to either Bristol or Cardiff. It will be an away fixture in the next round.
Yeah, Bristol Hurricanes, the 2 seed in the playoffs this season. Kestrels being the 3 seed, as it splits between each league. Kestrels obviously finishing second in Division 2 South, so pick up the 3rd seed, with Breakers taking the 1 seed of the playoffs. The Bristol Hurricanes winning Division 2. Step back J there from Gale, no good. Winning Division 2 North, so they take that 2 seed, and Kestrels will travel to Bristol. And knowing that they could definitely go there and get a win with their record, very unlucky to be in a 3-seeder as the playoffs work. Great finish there from Sean Mulhern, moving himself on to 10 points personal for the game. He makes it 3 double-digit scorers for the Kestrels.
So it doesn't necessarily grab the headlines or the spotlight, Sean Mulhern, but it's so important and it contributes every single week. Puts in the hard graft.
Goodall going to work there on Mulhern, and Taylor coming over for the help. Mulhern fouls, and Goodall's going to go to the line for his first points of the game. First one, no good. Back iron
crowd doing their best to put him off.
Second one, no good. Very short on that one, trying to compensate. And that's the end of the third. 76 to 47 lead for the Kestrels. 29 point
difference.
And the Kestrels are just going to keep looking to eke that out, go stronger and stronger through the fourth, whilst trying to use some of their rotation if a game against Bristol Hurricanes or Cardiff calls next week.
They do have players like Sean and Burra has yet to come on the court. Joe Lloyd has had very few minutes. They'll be looking to perhaps come out. Dan Foyle, Malloy, Ilias, Taiwo. All players will be given the opportunity to try and keep their fitness up.
Yeah, Kestrels are going to be ruthless here probably for the first few minutes of this fourth. They're really trying to stretch that lead out and look to make it a 30, 40-point game before they make those rotations.
That Guyman on our screen shows that magic whiteboard of his. So often writing down the answers to the questions. The question today is, can they see this out? And it would take a collapse of quite epic proportions.
And a mammoth effort from Manchester if they're going to pull this one off. But we've seen stranger things.
Of course, if we briefly look to the women's side, their win against Birmingham came against, wasn't quite 29 points, but that was a big deficit.
It was a double-digit one at least, yeah.
Lisa Brandon back on the court. Guyman trusting him again not to rise to the challenge of Goodall. Gale gets us underway again.
And Magic looking to make an indent in that lead very quickly here. Running a loop play for Gale on the wing, finding Davies down low. Left-handed floater, no good. Grabs his own offensive rebound. No good again. Briggs loses it. Gale in the corner. No good.
The 3 points just dried up a little bit for Manchester in the second half. But a steal there from Regent Bascom. Gariba does really well to make sure the points aren't conceded, but can do nothing to stop the ball going out against him. Just a sign that maybe Solent were taking their foot off the gas a little bit. Brandon with the steal, driving forwards. Can't get the finish. The rebound goes to Goodall.
Yeah, this is where Kestrels can't get too complacent as Gordon misses the three. Davies, blow! Foul by Russ Garapi. Thought that was going to be a block there for Russ.
Did look like he had the clear angle to do it. Just couldn't quite get it done to the referee's liking.
Davies on the free throw line. First one's good, moves himself on to 5 points personal for the game. Just under 9 minutes left to play.
And as we come to the end of this game, is it now a matter of damage limitation for Manchester? Has the comeback hopes disappeared enough for them to think about, let's try and just end it as well as we can?
It's playoff basketball, so it's win or go home. So they have to go for it. There's no means about kind of looking for the score or anything like that. You have to go for it as Gordon looks to gamble for a steal there, but they find Mulhern in the corner for 3. Sean Mulhern lighting the SSC up tonight, 13 points personal. That's his 3rd 3 of the night. But as I said, yeah, Manchester, they've got to look to win the game. That's the only way you can go about it in the playoffs, as Gale is going to miss the pin. Regent Bascom to the hoop and finishes.
Nice reverse finish there. Off the glass.
Briggs in the post, finds Brandon downhill, fade away, foul called, but no finish from Issa.
Again,
foul called on number 11, Time Regent Bascom. That's his 3rd foul of the ball game. Dads is checking in for Sean Mulhern.
And it's now Brandon's opportunity to get to 20 points.
First one
doesn't take it.
No good.
Garipi, Brandon and Gale stuck on 19 each for a long time. No one seems to want to break that 20-point boundary. As Brandon misses again.
Gale finds the cutting Regent Bascom. Back to Gale. Isolation, step back 3. Is this going to be the 20? There
yes,
we go.
It is.
Gale knocks down the 3.
22 for him.
Brandon looking for isolation on Regent Bascom. Dump down pass. No good. Out of bounds. Kestrels ball on that far side of the court by the Manchester Magic bench.
$25 points for gap. It's Briggs.
Briggs backing Davies down. Uses his body well. No finish though. Out comes Farrow Gordon. Loop pass, no good. Brandon. Gets
taken out by Briggs.
Round the back pass. Dad's on the wing.
Gets
and there it is.
Rather unconventional play there by the Kestrels. Take out your own man and go from there.
Gale for 3. That one's off. Briggs pulls down the rebound. But throws it
Very
away.
loose pass from Garipi there.
Gale gets the score. Gale moves himself onto 24 points now. Brandon, finish.
Nice finish. Puts him over the 20-point boundary. Finally, he's on 21.
Gale's pocket picked by Issa Brandon. Issa Brandon then finishes.
Off the fingers. Good from 23. He's just about reached his season average of points per game, Issa Brandon.
Brandon out. Another finger roll for Issa Brandon. It's just fast break basketball now for the Kestrels, who push their lead out to 32, forcing coach of the Manchester Magic, Peter Paraskeva, into a timeout. 5.5 minutes left to play now then of the Kestrels' final home game of the season. An 88 to 56 point lead. Issa Brandon leading all scorers at 25. Gale very close behind for the Magic on 24. Garipi on 19. Gordon on 16. And then Sean Mulhern also in double digits on 13. But Kestrels, as it's been all season, Josh, their scoring balance just completely outweighs the other team.
Absolutely. They pretty much, except for 2 games, in one in the cup against Essex and obviously the one against Milton Keynes, they put teams to the sword. There were some defensive frailties in the Kestrels game plan, but the problem wasn't can you score, it was can you stop them from scoring. And as many teams, or every team in fact, found out the answer was no, you cannot really stop them scoring. Only one did, and even then, it was only an 8-point deficit.
Well, I think Kestrels done a very good job defensively today against the Manchester Magic of stopping their other scorers. I mean, if you're going to let Andre Gale score 24 plus and only one other scorer above 6, I think you're going to be pretty happy.
If you look at the league standings, the Manchester Magic came into this with a points difference of 86, which is quite respectable until you compare it to the Kestrels, who are out on 586.
How much is... Have you got Milton Keynes Breakers there by any chance? What was theirs?
The Breakers was 860.
Yeah, theirs is ridiculous. They're beating teams by 70, 80 every week. It was a bit crazy to watch. Scarapy gets out in the break. Mulhern steps into a 3. Boom!
Gets it again.
Sean Mulhern has a flamethrower on today. 5 threes even now for Mulhern, I think. No, 4. It is 4. I'm not getting too ahead of myself. 4 for 5 though for 3 for Sean Mulhern. Bailey Goodall waiting for someone to come and get the ball off him.
Eventually finds Gale, but wasted a lot of the shot clock to do so.
Taiwo rebound, pushing the ball. Finding Mulhern downhill. He cannot miss!
18.
Sean Mulhern shooting 85% from the field today. Pushes himself onto 18 points. 6 for 7.
In perspective, he's only got 12 minutes on the court.
Yeah, Sean averaging 4.8 points per game. 18 here today as Farrow Gordon nails the 3.
And
4 minutes.
Dad's just needing a little break there.
4 minutes 27 then left here in the fourth. Kestrels leading 93 to 59.
Foul called
On Bailey Goodall. 4th for the hold on Will Taylor.
Don't think he'll argue that too strongly.
No, I think he knew that one was coming.
He's just surveying his options.
Kicks Taiwo in the corner. Kicks the other corner. Mulhern for 3. No good.
So close to make it his 5th.
Great hustle there from Martel Ellie, but kicks it straight out to Ace Raziz. Ball goes out off Bailey Goodall's hands. It's going to be a Kestrels ball on the baseline. There we go. Matt Guyman going through his rotations now. Down for Malloy, just checking into the game. For Elliot Dad's a bench 5 now in for the Kestrels. A very strong bench 5, may I say, with some huge scoring output from this 5 today. Obviously Mulhern with the 18 points, Taylor with the 7 off the bench, and Taiwo chipping in with 2. 3-pointer from the corner, no good for Mulhern. Hit a bit of a cold patch now as Aziz meets Gordon in transition. Great defense from Ace Aziz. Rebound down for Malloy. Aziz pushes the ball, rips through. Great defense from Saul May. It's going to be a jump ball, held ball by the 2. It's going to be a Kestrels ball on the possession arrow.
As Davies gets ready to come back on the court in place of Gordon. Goodall trusted to stay out there on the court despite being on 4 fouls.
There's only 3.5 minutes left, so he may as well stay in the game. Good defense there from Dan Davies.
Goodall gets the ball off to Regent Bascom. Ellie.
Offensive foul called on number 3, Martel Ellie. Andre Gale and Farrell Gordon have headed to the bench for the Magic, as this might just be their season done. Kestrels looking to advance into the next round of the playoffs against, like you said, Josh, either Bristol Hurricanes or Cardiff Met Archers. The Hurricanes being the 2 seed of the competition.
And the more likely to progress.
Martel Ellie finishes at the hoop.
Of course, the Kestrels did the double over the Archers this season.
One very close game. Mulhern for 3. Yeah, definitely gone into a cold streak. Sean Mulhern here missed the last 3 threes after an electric start from the 3-point line. Ellie going to work again, finishes.
He's woken up a bit, Ellie, just maybe slightly too late to help his side. As the 30-point deficit remains.
Aziz fouled there by Saul May. Taylor looking to post up Davies. Mulhern coming to the ball. Bit of energy there from Time Regent Basque on the defensive end. Aziz for 3, no good. Fouls been called there on Ilyas Taiwo for the push.
Not been a night to remember for Taiwo.
No, not one of his. Oh, the foul's called on Will Taylor. Sorry, for the push.
But with just over 2 minutes remaining, it seems the curtains are drawing on this Manchester Magic season.
Kestrels have been ruthless today. There was that run where Magic got themselves back within 5, and then from then on in, Kestrels have kept going and going and going. It's a 30-point lead now for the Kestrels. Lead did extend all the way out to 37.
Sean Abura comes in for his first minutes.
Sean Mulhern with a great performance, 18-point performance, kind of putting the Magic to the bed in the 4th today.
I think this is a sign, almost of respect from Matt Guyman.
Great finish there from Will Taylor. Yeah, a little sign of respect. Joe Lloyd's going to come in now. So Will Taylor moves himself onto 9 points personal. Foul there by Issa Aziz. Joe Lloyd's going to check into the game for Ilyas Taiwo. So this 5 on the court now is a full itching 5 past and present, and Dan Malloy, Dan for Malloy is the past, who's played for Itchin a few years ago, and the 4 others currently playing in the academy, finishing just outside the academy playoffs.
Which I think speaks to the setup here the Kestrels have.
Foul's called on 5 for the hold. 6 for the hold. Sean Mabora's called for the hold there. Regent Bascom looked to post him up.
Not the introduction he would have wanted to the game.
No, that's a very soft call there from the referee, especially with 1.5 minutes left of the game. Down for Malloy, call for the foul as Time Regent Bascom goes to the hoop. He's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
So as time slowly ticks away here, the Kestrels look to be heading into the next round of the playoffs, as they all try and avoid the use of the mop by using their trainers, but alas, they couldn't put it off. The mop will arrive.
Yeah, Bristol Hurricanes facing off against Cardiff Met Archers tomorrow at 4:45, so if Kestrels fans want to keep up to date with that on the Basketball England website or either of the 2 social medias to see who Kestrels are going to travel to in the next round of the playoffs. Milton Keynes Breakers also taking on Teesside Lions tomorrow at 5 p.m. Plenty of playoff action across Division 1 and Division 2 today. Division 1 men and women's playoffs getting underway today. Ipswich beating Bristol and TVC beating ARU. And currently Essex Rebels tied up with the Bradford Dragons 58 apiece. Hemel up by 1 against Loughborough and Derby up by 2 against Nottingham. All early stages of the game. Foul there by Tyne Regent Bascombe. It's going to be his 4th of the game. He's going to send Asa Aziz to the line for his first chance for his first points of the game.
Will the Kestrels crack 100 points? They've done it quite a few times this season.
Aziz long on his free throw. Needs to get his sat-nav out for this one. And that one's off as well. Rebound time, Regent Bascombe.
Very loose pass there. The black and red of a cheerleader's uniform seemingly confusing Italy from the blue of Manchester Magic.
So Lloyd handing off here to Asa Aziz, looking to use the screen of Will Taylor. Double dribble from Asa Aziz. The game's hit a little bit of a low point here with Kestrels up by 30 with just 58 seconds left.
The crowd is very subdued. It's almost just waiting now for the final buzzer. The writing's on the wall. And Manchester will just be hoping that their journey back is smooth.
Deep three from Ellie, just the shot clock winding down. No good, down 4. Malloy pulls down the rebound. Kestrels just about have a shot clock. Aziz crossing over in front of Saul May. Sean and Bora catches, gives to down 4. Malloy for 3.
Doesn't go, and that should be that.
Manchester will just dribble this one out. So, with 10 seconds left to play, Manchester going to dribble this one out. Kestrels running out 95 to 65 point winners. Russ Garapi impressing with 19 points, 11 rebounds. Issa Brandon finishing with 25 points, shooting 62% from the field with 8 rebounds and 5 assists. 7 steals for Issa Brandon. Sean Mulhern putting Manchester to the sword with 18 points in that second half. And for Manchester, Andre Gale leading all scorers for them with 24 and Farrow Gordon with 19. So Kestrels progress on to the second round NBL Division 2 playoffs into the semi-finals, and they'll face either Bristol Hurricanes or Cardiff Met Archers. Unfortunately though, that one will be away. Unsure if there'll be a stream for that one. If not, I'm sure it'll be advertised on the Kestrels Instagram or Twitter. But if Kestrels are to reach the final, whoever reaches the final, that will be broadcasted on Basketball England for all the viewers. But from us, thank you very much, and Josh will be grabbing someone for an interview very shortly. One of the Kestrels players, who I believe is going to be
Russell Garipi. When you get a double-double like that, it's very hard not to grab the headline. So don't go anywhere. We'll bring you that post-match interview and also a little thank you surprise at the end of our stream. So stick around. We'll be with you again very shortly. So, Russell, another win, but more importantly, a great performance for you. 19 points and 11 rebounds. Did it feel like a good game as the first quarter was going to start?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a good game. I don't know if I would say more importantly, a good win is a good win, but, kind of felt the flow of the offense in the first half and on the defensive end, and I could tell it was going to be a good night for me on both ends of the floor. So just trying to stack good possessions as much as I could.
You've got under a bit of a reputation as a three-point shooter this season, but today a lot of the points came from the interior. Was that a weakness you spotted early on? Did you try and do that, or was it just the way the game played out?
Just game flow, really, to be honest. I mean, I like to think I can score at multiple levels, and my role here on this team has been kind of to adapt and knock down the open three when it comes to me and facilitate as well. So tonight I just felt opportunities to get inside and try and, finish at the rim, and, was successful in doing so.
You are through into the next round of the playoffs with either a trip to Bristol or Cardiff as a reward. Are you looking forward to that? What's the game plan for the Kestrels now?
Oh, man, I can't wait. Obviously, got a great team and a really good environment. Hopefully, we can come play one back home if Cardiff gets by today. But just grateful to be playing, man. Grateful to be in an organization that, cares about building the right way and with a group of guys that want to win and do it for the right reasons. So, of course, it's really exciting. For game plan, just, take care of business. Just another game. Take care of business.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Congratulations again today. For viewers, don't go anywhere. We've got a little special thank you for sticking with us throughout the rest of the season. Take a look at this.
Today this could be the greatest day of our lives. Today this could be the greatest